Now I'm sure you've realized recently there's been a rise in teenage gurus on the internet giving you success, hustle, life advice. It comes to the point where I see these videos more than I hear my nan talk about the weather. But Amani, that used to be you. You used to film workout videos while splurging out some regurgitated life advice you just learned from a bearded man in his robe on YouTube. Oi, shut up, mate. I'm trying to film a video. Be quiet. As everyone on YouTube is now qualified to give you success, life, hustle guidance, it causes your brain to be bombarded with different information on a million ways to make 10K a month, or the undiscovered secret to discipline, which someone found in Tutankhamun's grave in the ancient pyramids of Egypt. This can get a bit much, and it can cause us to feel overwhelmed or take little to no action, as our brain is so combobulated with different information. Is that even a word? It's caused the concept of discipline to be misrepresented, with the masses of young men believing you need to cut yourself off from your social circle, sit in your sweaty dark room all day, and do 16 hours of work non-stop. By the means of social media, everyone is selling you different ways to approach your life, new hacks, new biohacks you can try out, because the stuff that stands out the most sells more, right? Everything can be dumbed down so much more, which is what I'm going to do in this video. Discipline is actually much more easier and much more simpler than you think, which is what I'm going to explain in these 3 vital points in today's video. Now, before we get into our first point, I'm sure you here have had phases in your life, which is what I like to call the boom-bust cycle. Just like me when I see your mum. I don't know why I named it that, but let's get on with it. You've probably had phases of your life when you're super motivated, doing all the hard work, you're being super productive every day, you're smashing your good habits, but this goes on for around a week, let's say. Then, like magic, you become demotivated and fall into your bad habits again, the complete opposite of where you were at before. For example, with me, I was doing all my good habits, working hard every day, going to bed on time, doing lots and lots of work and being in a high state. But then after a while, after 5 to 6 days, I would slowly fall back down to this state because I didn't have the willpower to keep going. And now when I was at this state, I started to fall down what I call the doom hole. I would wake up a bit late as I was very tired from all the work. I would start to watch Netflix, scroll on my phone, overindulge in porn, and raid all the snacks from the cupboard. And then before you know it, I was back up again. But then this cycle kept playing out in my life. And it just got annoying. I was getting annoyed at myself because I was at here at one point and now I'm back down here. This brings us on to the first point of discipline, which is simply managing the load. This is supposed to be a stick man holding some stuff, but I don't know if that looks that good. Now I get it. When we see these motivational videos of David Goggins carrying some crazy logs, or Andrew Tate telling you to get your money up, it causes testosterone to pulsate through our body. We feel like we can take on the entire world. So we do 1,000 push-ups and run the length of a marathon. But this only feels good for a short time. And as our ego begins to fade away, we slowly get tired of waking up at 5 a.m. every morning, doing 10-hour work days, and cutting yourself off from your friends just so you can grind. Then you start to question yourself, why can't you stay consistent? Because at one point you're so high in the boom-bust cycle, and then at the next point you're right at the low, and this goes on for a while. You start to get annoyed with yourself because you feel like you're not making progress as you keep going up and down in this endless loop. The reason we fall into this boom-bust cycle is because we're not being sustainable. No, not like Greta Thunberg and that environmental nonsense. I mean sustainable in the way which you can turn up every day and do your work without burning out or getting too tired. For example, with me, I have A-level exams coming up. Every day I allocate around 1 or 2 hours in the morning that allows me to do my work. This means I'm not excessively working for 5 or 6 hours. It's a sustainable amount of time where I can easily get the work done every morning without fail. In this sense, it's realistic. I'm not setting myself excessive work hours which are quite difficult to obtain. I'm able to do the work every day as it only requires 1 or 2 hours of my time. I use the same framework with my YouTube as well. Every day I allocate around 1 or 2 hours so I can just focus on editing videos and editing scripts. This way I'm not excessively doing massive amounts of work, so I'm not too tired, and then I can get the work done the next day, so I can stay consistent and disciplined. And in this way my ego isn't getting out of the way and it's more realistic. Tell me when to stop. Stop. Hawaiian Islands, Hawaii. I'd love to go there one day. We might start with 1 hour a day or 20 minutes of this work or whatever you're trying to pursue. And then as we go 1 week, when we can do this 1 hour every day or 20 minutes, we can slowly increase it. It's like going to the gym. If any of you go to the gym, you do your bicep curls, cheeky flex, you do a weight for a certain time, and once the weight becomes easier, you increase how heavy it is. And then this is where the growth happens. If you're new to the gym and your arms are like breadsticks, obviously you wouldn't go to bench press 100 kg straight away, as you'll get crushed. As my friend Lewis says, don't try to build Rome in a day. This will make more sense in point 3. Be able to get the work done every day. As this will stack up, you'll see improvements in the long run, instead of seeing highs and lows and not seeing much progress. Be realistic and don't set yourself insane monster productivity schedules that you can't keep up up with. This brings us on to point 2, which is showing up every day. It's inevitable you're gonna have days where you wanna lounge on the sofa, watch a whole Netflix series, and eat the whole packet of jammy Dodgers in the cupboard. Don't worry, this has happened to all of us. But I like to think of a concept called no days off. Yeah. Now don't get me wrong, not every day is going to be candy floss and rainbows, the birds singing opera in the trees, and everything going perfect. Although that would be quite nice. There's gonna be days where someone from the shop calls you a bad name, you wake up on the wrong side of the bed, you're a bit tired from the day before, or you hurt your knee from playing sports, or any excuse in the whole world. Most of this is out of control, but what's in our control is turning up every day no matter the weather. Now I know this sounds like a motivational speech that you see a guru saying, but simply, if you turn up every day, even if it's just 1 minute or 5 minutes, this will compound over the future and it will cause your brain to develop a habit of doing the work every day. Even if it's just 5 minutes in the gym, 1 page of a book, 1 minute of doing your work, it's still better than doing nothing at all. Look at Cristiano Ronaldo. One of the best football players of all time. He wouldn't be where he is at now, playing for the best clubs in the world, having all these brand deals, and being extremely successful if he didn't show up every day. Even when he was tired and his mum was getting annoyed at him, even when he broke up with his girlfriend or something bad happened, he still showed up every day, which is what caused him to reach this great success. Most people today are lazy. They give every excuse in the world not to do the work. They say, I woke up on the wrong side of the bed, or I hurt my knee so I can't do any work. This is lazy. No excuses, show up no matter the circumstances. Now on to our final point. You've probably heard this phrase everywhere on the internet, so I'm gonna be unique and special and change it a bit. The Taj Mahal wasn't built in a day. That looks like an alien from Star Wars. The Taj Mahal wasn't actually built in a day. It took 23 years to make it, with endless curry breaks in between it. Nah, I'm joking. I am actually Indian, by the way. I do love India, and I do love curry. 1 million concepts can arise from this analogy, but I'm gonna go over the most important ones for me, and most likely you too. Firstly, anything that is big or worthwhile doing in life will require a lot of patience, like building an aesthetic physique, making a YouTube channel, learning to play the guitar, or achieving a new calisthenics skill. Obviously, it requires effort and dedication, but one of the most important things is patience. Patience is becoming more rare in the world today, with social media selling us false realities that we can become the next Elon Musk overnight. One thing successful people all share in common, otherwise than hard work and all this other stuff, is patience. Look at Kanye West, one of my favorite rappers. He's been in the rap game for about 10 or 15 years, always making music. He had to show up when no one was listening to him, where everyone was doubting him. It's starting to sound like a motivational speech again, but you get it. Or Taylor Swift. Not really a fan of her music, but she's been making music since she was 15. That's almost 17 years when she was in the old Mississippi barns playing to all the cowboys and stuff. Sorry if I offended any of you Americans. I really don't know my states. But only recently, in the past couple of years, is she really getting recognition for it. She had to be under the shadow for so long until everyone saw her in the light. There's a nice quote from a Greek guy called Aristotle, I think. I don't know what he did, but here's a quote. Patience is bitter, but its fruits are sweet. Patience requires boredom, suffering, accepting the fact that it's gonna take more than 50 or 100 videos until you start to get recognition on YouTube. Accepting the fact that, okay, if I wanna build an aesthetic physique, it's going to take time. Accepting the fact that if I wanna learn the guitar, it's not gonna become apparent overnight. It's gonna take days and days and weeks and months for me to learn. But on the other side of patience are big, sweet, juicy fruits. Hopefully peaches or watermelons or mangoes. Those are my top 3. Now, I'm still learning this with my YouTube channel. It's gonna take time, so I've started to detract myself from the views and just focus more on the long run. Because if I keep looking at the views now, hoping that next video will blow up, next video will blow up, it'll cause my brain to go bazonkers. So I'm more focused in the long run. Just like the workers at the Taj Mahal are. They knew it was gonna take around 23 years to build, so they weren't gonna get annoyed if they didn't build it in one day. They kept showing up every day because they knew it was in the long run, so they were patient. One final thing from the Taj Mahal analogy is, if we're gonna be in this for the long run, if it's gonna be a long time to get where we wanna get, we might as well enjoy the journey while we're at it. Oh, Imani, stop being so generic with these cringe phrases that everyone's already heard. Look, be quiet, mate. I'm nearly finished. Just be a bit patient, all right? See what I did there? You've probably heard this a million times. Enjoy the journey as much as the destination. Focus on the journey, not the destination. La-di-da-di-da-di-da. But it's true. If we want to reach our goals, like 100,000 subscribers, it makes sense to enjoy the journey as you proceed to the destination. What I mean by this is don't totally sacrifice your friends or your social life or having fun or enjoying yourself for a bit. Yes, this probably goes against everything your favorite self-improvement YouTubers have said. No distractions, stay focused, just grind, 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 fuck your social life. But I think this is complete bullshit. For me, part of being disciplined is actually having a social life and being able to have fun. If I'm doing the work all the time, it's gonna get tiring. Part of discipline for me is being able to take a step back from my work, play a game of snooker with my friends, or go to the cinemas, or have a little dancey dance or boogie boogie and enjoy myself for a bit. And I'm only a teenager. I'm 17 years young. I want to enjoy my life. I don't want to be a robot the whole time, being super productive 24/7. I want to enjoy myself, have a laugh, while also doing the work. Well, that's what I think of discipline, and I hope you found this useful. These videos are kind of for my 13-year-old brother. When he gets older and starts to learn about self-development, he can come to these videos which provide him value, entertainment, simplicity, and a bit of a laugh. Maybe it was worth the like and subscribe. I'll leave that to you. I'll see you in the next one. Adios.